Yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to a brand new PSGL League Racing video. Today is round number 9 around Austria. One of the trickiest tracks for qualifying in F1, track limit wise at least. And as you can see, we're leading the championship by 41 points to our closest rival, Thomas Ronnar. And today we can actually wrap up the title if we win and Thomas scores 0 points. And neither does Alfie and Ismail. So yeah, everything has to go a little bit perfect today in order for us to win the championship. But let's not forget there's still 3 rounds after this, so there is no rush in getting this championship wrapped up. We kind of just have to use our brain in the next few rounds, not do anything stupid, and just get the points. We don't have to win like we've done the past 3 races. We just have to score decent points. A P5 would be good enough as well. So first we have to get into Q2. And this has not been a great lap actually. A little bit too far off the limit, some little mistakes here and there. And you can see there on the exit as well. Like half a car width to track limits. Yeah, that's just too far off the limit in a grid that's this closely packed. So I had to go out again in Q1. Luckily, we are 210s green. We are P16 though, so if we invalidate this, we are going to be out in Q1. Luckily for us, we don't, and we shoot up to P4 and make it into Q2. So, time to start cooking a little bit. Our main rival Thomas Ronnar got into Q2 on a single set of tires. We didn't. Nicholas Longage, Jet Norgrove, Joshi Doe, Brendan Lee and Simon Weigang out in Q1. So yeah, Q2 it is. This is our first run of Q2. This is a used set of tires that's on at the moment. And we actually went faster than what we did in Q1 on a used set of tires. And yeah, we actually went P1 by like half a 10 to our teammate Danny Bresnay, but the gaps were quite huge. And yeah, it's almost like used tires are new tires for us with the lap times we can set every single quali session. Still don't understand why, but new set of tires have gone on and up to the line. This has been a really good lap as well. It's a 102.899. That is almost 2 tenths faster than the P1 lap time of Q1. So yeah, we had the opportunity to stay in, which we did, and that means we've got 2 new sets of tires for Q3. Ulla Zozilder in P1. Luke Smith, John Evans, Wilson, huge, and Joni Tormela out in Q2 though. And yeah, great Q2 session there from us. Finally started to cook a little bit more. This first lap of Q3. And yeah, because Austria is such a short track, I decided to go for 3 runs. First run was used tires. This run is new tires. Unfortunately, not a great improvement. Last corner was like half a 10 gain, and as you can see, it's only P4, and we're like just over 10th away from P1. So on this last lap, we're gonna have to start cooking if we want to get pole position. It's been a really long time since I've had pole position in dry conditions in PSGL. So let's see if we can finally get back on pole position. Into turn 1 we go. We made a huge mistake in WR. That cost us pole position through there. This time we nail it. It wasn't perfect. Clipped the inside curb a little bit. Exit speed was a little bit off, but we got it around the corner. Into the hairpin we go. Again, a little bit too deep for my liking. And in total we probably lost around half 10 there. Our teammate Danny Bresnay goes to a provisional pole position with a 102.708. If we want to do that lap time, we're going to have to improve 1.6 tenths to our delta. You can see currently we're halfway on that. We need 8 more hundredths if we want to snatch away pole position from our teammate going into the last sector. And this is gonna have to be a near perfect last sector, and I know it. I have to nail it if I want to get pole position. Into the final 2 corners we go. We're absolutely on the limit going through the final corner. Back end wants to step out, up to the line, DRS open, and it's not gonna be enough. Purple last sector, but we miss out by 100th of a second to our teammate Danny Bresnay on pole position. And you can see our main rival Thomas Ronnar right behind us, 200s behind us. You can see how close it is. Top 4, 5 within 6.600, top 6 with it within 8.800s. Really close qualifying session. And yeah, unfortunately, Paul was in there, but it just wasn't meant to be. As we go now onto the race, and you might be wondering, why does he have a black screen? And why can I hear engine noises? And that's because I was so focused on the race that I forgot to put my display capture on. And I'm gonna notice it in around 5 seconds. And luckily, nothing happened at the start.
I forgot to turn my screen off. It's VSC anyway.
Yeah, luckily nothing happened for us at the start. However, there was a huge crash behind us that caused this VSC. I think around 5 people were involved in it. Joshi Dowu, his race ended. He lost his front wheel, I think so, in turn 1. So, sorry for that. Sorry I missed the start. I was too focused, too locked in.
See some rain, ETA about 15 minutes.
And yeah,
dry seem like the best tyre for now.
As you can hear our engineer say there, our in-game engineer, wet weather is predicted for later on in this race, and that's why we've gone for the hards. Just a bit of a safe option, and yeah, that just makes sure that we actually make it to the rain. Because if it's slightly too late, then the tire wear will be too high for the mediums or the softs, and that means you will have to make an extra pit stop onto another set of slicks, and that's not what you want. So Ismail Fassi behind us has taken a huge risk, has gone onto the mediums, and yeah, that's paying dividends now. But the question is, does this set of tires make it to the rain? So down the inside he goes. Not much we can do. The mediums are just quite a lot faster at this point in the race, and yeah, we are just gonna let him go and slot in behind him, save our battery. We got our teammate Danny Bresnay in P1 on the hards as well. You can see, as far as we can see behind actually, all hard runners as well. And yeah, it seems like the only person on the mediums, only top runner on the mediums is Ismail Fassi at the moment. Our title rival in WR, of course, together with Thomas Ronhaar, who's our title rival in PSGL as well. However, lap 6 now, Thomas goes on the attack. I decided to have a little look down the inside there, but 3 wide into the hairpin is not a smart idea, especially not if you are the championship leader. So decided to play it a little bit safe, save my battery a little bit. Austria is a tricky track, and I just felt like it didn't matter too much if I was going to be in P1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 in lap 6 of the race. So even though it is our title rival, we just kind of had to let go. I didn't even let him go, he just made an overtake on us, and yeah, we couldn't do much against him. It seems like we're a little bit down on straight line speed, but that could also be because these guys are just constantly pushing their ERS coming out of the corner, and then they just take a huge slipstream down the end of the straight as well. So a little bit of a snowball effect, but again, we're just sitting on almost 100% ERS. I do use it every now and then out of corners, but yeah, we just stuck behind him. I didn't just want to drain 50 or 60% of my battery to go for one overtake, and you can see these guys ahead are pushing like crazy every single straight, trying to get track position over one each other. And yeah, they're not really making any progress. They're just overtaking each other again and again and again. And just swapping positions to make it 3 wide into the next right, and they're almost a huge collision. And yeah, it looks like our teammate Danny Bresnay actually had the biggest loss there, dropping down to P3, whereas he had been leading most of the race. So we have together now. As you can hear me, ERS.
Thomas 65 exit.
Asking for ERS to the guys ahead, and yes, 65. And yeah, both my teammate and Thomas Ronhaar on lower ERS. And yeah, that kind of gave me the idea to maybe go for a move here. Because we're on so much more ERS, we kind of have to do with something with it at some point. And we are nearing the range, so I kind of wanted to start making some progress now. Maybe snatch away P3, maybe get P2. Even in the rain, this isn't quite easy. Is quite an easy track to overtake. Even without DRS, there's so many hairpins.
There's more ERS.
And yeah, I felt like if there is a track where track position is not that important, is Austria, because you got a kind of an overtaking opportunity into turn 1, turn 3, turn 4. Even the section after that, you can go side by side. So lap 17 now, and this is where I'm going to go on the attack. I knew my teammate Danny Bresnay was on lower ERS, so we're going to go around the outside in turn 4. He's a little bit boxed in. He gives us the space on the outside, and again turning on the overtake button into this left-hander, and then he decides to give up on that one. And now we can run down the top 2. Ismail on the mediums, and I am starting to wonder a little bit if his tires are going to be nearing puncture range. Definitely not in lap 17 yet, but I'm not sure if he can go on for much longer. He has been battling hard as well, and yeah, if he is not near puncture range, he is going to be near struggling range. Those tires are going to be worse off relative to our hearts, of course, and yeah, that's going to give me an opportunity to get it back into P2 before the pit stops. However, you can see in lap 18 it has started to rain. Not time for Inter yet though, unless it starts absolutely plunging down with rain. It's definitely going to be slicks for another lap at least. However, our teammate Jake Benham into the pits for intermediates. We're just chilling in DRS still.
This lap?
Yeah, it would be this lap.
And yeah, she named my engineer say it would be this lap. And you can see Ismail starting to get on with it, trying to get it into the lead of the race. We're just kind of sitting behind. Used a bit of my ERS just to make sure I'm actually staying in the 1 second window. Because these guys were absolutely spamming their ERS out of every corner. But yeah, we are staying within the 1 second window. You can see just confirming my pit lap here in the end of lap 19 to go on to the intermediates. However, I felt like the grip was still decent.
Sure?
This or next lap would be fine, but I would suggest this lap.
And yeah, my engineer is suggesting this lap. However, I decided to think
Staying out one more
of it and go one more lap on the slicks. Simply because I felt it was too dry. You can see there's no spray. The grip is still good. The lap times are still alright actually. A 1:07.9, 1.3 seconds slower only than what we did at the start of the race, and that's mainly just tire wear. So using a bit of my battery there to just pressurize these guys ahead a little bit. It looks like
let's have you in at the end of this lap, please.
we are gonna have to box in the end of this one. But yeah, maybe even another lap. I'm not sure at this point. We're gonna be using a bit of my battery again out of that hairpin to maybe have a little look down the inside of Ismail Fassi. Yeah, again, covered it up nicely. Nothing we can do there. Going for a little switchback. You can see we're starting to have more grip relative to
this lap then. Come into the pits at the end of this lap.
those old mediums, and yeah, you can visually actually see now that the grip has gone down, and this lap is going to be a lot slower. So I decided to pull into the box here at the end of lap 20. So is Ismail Fassi, and we're both going to go onto a set of intermediates. Now the question is, did we get undercut by our teammate Danny Bresnay? You can see on the mini-map he's still ahead of our other teammate Jake Benham by around 2 to 3 seconds. So Jake's pit lap definitely didn't work. He basically spent an entire lap driving on basically dry conditions on intermediates. And yeah, driving with rain tires in the dry is not advised, because your tires just massively overheat and will wear out like crazy. So lap 21 here, you can see we're still ahead of our teammate Danny Bresnay, and staying out that extra lap was the right move. And as you can see here, we're straight away going to go down the inside of Ismail Fassi into the right-hander, little bit of a touch. I think Ismail got caught a little bit off guard there with our overspeed into the hairpin, and somehow we actually got DRS. into the next right-hander. So DRS still activated. You can see there's still not a lot of spray, so we might have actually still boxed a lap too early, and that will be a huge disadvantage because our tires are wearing out a lot faster now than if we would box a lap or two later, simply due to the fact that it will be a lot more wet. The drier it is, the faster our rain tires will wear out. So still 16 laps we have to do
3 temps middle sector, yeah.
on this set of intermediates. And the question is, did we get the undercut? That's the most important thing for now. We can worry about tire wear for later. Into turn 1 we go. You can see more people have boxed, and we are going to take the net race lead. We actually are going to take the race lead, and we got Ismail Fassi right behind us.
Still DRS.
With DRS, and he's going to breeze past us into the next right. And Thomas, though, in P3 on 1 lap fresher intermediates. That 1 lap might have a huge advantage later on in this race. We still have DRS, and I'm gonna stay behind her because we are running a little bit low on the battery, and yeah, we need to kind of plan this correctly because yeah, there might still
Ishmael
be DRS.
less than 10%, Thomas 65.
There might still be DRS on the next lap, and yeah, if we pass Ismail now and he gets past us on the next lap, then DRS might get deactivated on the next lap. So this is a tricky game here. Overtaking with DRS is obviously a lot easier, and the issue here is that we kind of have to get lucky with the DRS. We need to overtake Ismail on the right lap with DRS,
We still have DRS.
and then hope the DRS gets deactivated before that lap ends, so we don't get re-overtaken straight away. So we're gonna turn on the DRS.
I think I know why. I
And
think it'll disappear in a minute.
Unfortunately, we're gonna be forced to go on the attack here because Thomas was right behind us on the exit, and we go around the outside into hairpin into the race lead again. Don't have DRS on the next one though, but
Well, when
it looks like we've got enough of a gap to cover off another attack from Ismail Fassi. You could hear on the last lap as well, Ismail below 10% battery, and that might keep him behind for 1 more lap, and that 1 lap might just be enough to wait until DRS gets disabled. So Thomas though seems very fast at the moment. You can see how far Jake on the minimap has dropped back. He completely ruined his tires on that 1 lap extra he was out relative to our Danny Bresnan in P4. If you remember,
It's
they were
still
only
there.
2
Oh, no.
seconds.
Yeah, it is still there.
No, it's gone.
Back up.
They were only 2 seconds apart when I boxed, and now the gap is like 6-7 seconds. So
Ishmael back up to 40.
Jake's race has kind of been ruined with that. Tires are completely in the mud, and
God.
you can see behind me,
If I didn't drive there, I would be around.
and they are going at it. Thomas, with that 1 lap freshly tires, seems to have a huge pace advantage at the moment, and I kind of want to stay ahead and not use my battery, but these guys behind me are obviously spamming it like crazy in order to try and overtake each other, and if I'm not careful I'm gonna get double overtaken by these guys. So I have to use my battery a little bit every now and then.
Going at 1 lap
just-
early cooks my tires, by the way, but you can see the same with them.
And yeah,
Yeah, copy.
this is what I was talking about
And Jake.
in the past few laps. Going that 1 lap earlier added like 10% tire wear on our tires, and yeah, that can have a huge effect on the lap time, of course. That's basically like boxing 4 laps later in the dry, for example, and obviously that's already has a huge effect. So we're kind of in big trouble here. Now, as you have noticed in the top left, Thomas Ronnar at 5-second penalty for speeding into the pits, and he's made a huge mistake there, outbraking himself, trying to get onto the back of us. So this is huge news for the championship. Come to the end of the race, if we win this, or even if we finish P2 on the track, we might be winning the championship here. It all depends how far Thomas drops back with that 5-second penalty, and yeah, you can see there actually made a huge mistake there. Completely run wide at a huge understeer moment, and this has given Thomas the opportunity to go for a move into the next few straights. So huge pressure on the right here. If he gets past, he might actually be able to pull a 5-second gap with that tire wear advantage. So we're gonna have to be real careful here, because here he's on similar ERS levels to us. So we're gonna have to defend hard here into the next hairpin, because he's gonna be right on us with the help of slipstream and ERS. He's gonna send it down the inside of the next hairpin. We're braking very late, but Thomas brakes later, and we get the switch back, and we manage to maintain the lead for one more lap. You can hear my engineer say 18% ERS on the exit. He goes again on the attack into the next right hand. We manage to fend him off for one more lap, and that's just what we need. We just need to keep him behind for as long as we can. It doesn't matter if he gets past eventually. We just need to hold him up for a little bit longer so we can stay in that 5-second window. The tires will eventually start to equal out as the laps go on. But yeah, we just have a huge tire wear disadvantage at the moment. Simply because we spent one lap longer in these dry conditions. And you can see the same with my other teammate, Danny Bresnay. He went one lap earlier than us. 2 laps earlier than the Haas guys and Thomas. And he's dropped down to like P7, P8. You can see Jake is only in the second last corner, boxing 2 laps earlier than us. And that's just the huge effect of boxing onto inters when it's dry. And you can see Jake actually has to box again, because otherwise he will get a puncture. The tire wear was too big for him to make it to the end. I actually think he might be trying to go into wets here. I'm not sure, but we'll see. Lap 35 now though.
Exit.
It looks like we've got this race under control. You can see
They're equalizing now, pace-wise.
it has started to rain a lot harder. And yeah, that has kind of helped a little bit of tire. You could actually see for a brief moment in the bottom right there, the tire wear indicator has popped on. The tire wear has been huge this race, simply because it was dry in these first few laps, or too dry for the intermediates in those first few laps. And yeah, now finally it seems like we've got this race under control and everything has calmed down a little bit. 1.5 laps to go to put one hand on the trophy. If we win this race and Thomas gets a 5-second penalty, we still actually won't win the championship, simply because Alfie Butcher is in P4 and will be promoted to P3.
Thomas under 10.
I'm out of danger for puncture, so we're fine.
And that means mathematically it would still be possible for Alfie Butcher to stay in the championship. Because if he finished P3, we win the race, Alfie will be 49 points behind with 3 races to go. Each race win is 16 points, so you might be thinking that will be 48 points, but there's 1 point for fast lap as well. So theoretically, there's 51 points up for grabs. But that's what I mean, putting one hand on the trophy if we win this race here. And it looks like we will be winning this race, because we're extending the gap to Thomas runner behind us. Thomas with a 5-second penalty most likely will drop down to P5 and will drop down to P3 or P4 in the Drivers' Championship as well. However, we are gonna gain 16 more points in a few corners time to put one hand on the trophy. It's not been an easy one. We had to fight extremely hard for this one. Extreme tire wear on these intermediates. Arguably went for the wrong strategy starting on the hards as well, but that's the risk we took. And it's gonna be 4 in a row in PSGL and extending our championship lead to 49 points to Alfie Butcher. And all we need to do in the next race is to basically pick up 2 points, 3 points, 4 points, and then we will have the Drivers' Championship sealed for the 6th time in PSGL. But we still have to do it. Next week out in Belgium. Hope you guys enjoyed our 4th win in PSGL. Actually, our 5th win in PSGL, or 4th win in a row in PSGL. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like and subscribe for more league racing content, and see you guys next time. Ciao.
Yeah,